Hello everyone, I'm Rich Lamont. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, welcome. This video is going to be kind of more of a product review, and then we'll do a fly. I'm reviewing some blue-eared pheasant feathers. These come from a farm in Washington. The place is called Brittons Blue-eareds. You can find them on Facebook. I will have a link to that in the description. I have a number of different feather packs here that they offer. They are a no-kill type place, so they don't offer skins, they don't offer live birds, they don't offer chicks or eggs or anything like that. Strictly just the feathers that are molted from their birds. And I believe they've got around 30 birds now, so pretty neat thing that they've got. And I'll show you here. They've got some really nice colors, some dyed ones. They have these bleached cream ones here. And then they get into colors like steelhead orange, which is kind of like a red-orange, fluorescent lemon yellow. Actually, I'll get the camera over here and we'll do some close-ups on these. And I'll take a couple out and we'll take a look at the feathers themselves. But these all seem to have some really nice length to them. These are the medium ones, which are good for from a 5 to a maybe a 1.5. Size 1.5 hook would probably be the largest that these would do, but these are pretty nice. You know, the feathers themselves aren't marked up, or you know, there's no chunks taken out of them, there's no pieces missing. It looks like the feather selection was very good, and the birds are probably very well cared for. So let's take a look at these really quick, and then we'll go over and we'll tie a fly with one of them. Okay. And here we are with the different colors. This is not all they offer. They do have other ones. But they have a medium dark gray, which is a natural color. It's just a little bit darker. Now this is what we're going to use today to tie the fly. Because this is actually the closest to color of heron. And typically these feathers, blue-eared pheasant, is used to as a substitute for heron. I find that these are actually a really good sub for those smaller sizes. And as you can see, all these feathers are rather nice shape. There's no broken tips or anything. Yep. Nice looking stuff. The medium sizes, I believe the dyed ones and the cream are, I think those are $16 per package. And the natural ones, I believe, are $14 a package. I'll leave the price list, or a link to it at least, in the description as well. This one I really liked. This one really caught my eye. This is a silver dun. Really a nice color. I've had a few people that have asked me about, you know, where to find blue-eared pheasant, and these folks just popped up recently. I think they've been doing this for a little while, but I just happened to find them recently. So through a mutual friend, Britt Davenport, she had posted it on Facebook. But again, I mean, look at them. They're all very nice. They're all very good shape. The color is nice and deep, goes all the way through. There's no, you know, blank spots at the bases or anything. They did well dyeing them as well. Okay, so the colors that I've got here are the steelhead orange, fluorescent lemon yellow. That's a nice bright yellow color. The brilliant Kelly green, extreme blue, electric violet, the bleached cream, which is just the gray bleached out. That's done well also. These aren't burned or anything. And then this was a like a normal natural blue ear. And then black, of course. So yeah, these look great. I can't wait to actually tie with them. Let's head over to the vise and let's put something together. I'm going to tie a fly called the gray heron. Usually takes blue heron hackle, but we're going to use this medium dark gray here. Alright, so we're over here at the vise, and I'm using a Alec Jackson. This is a 2051, basically the same thing as the Daiichi 2051, same company. Spay hook, size number 5. Now I'm starting in with white thread because the rear third of the body on this fly is yellow floss, and we don't want the black thread to bleed through the floss. It won't really bleed through, but it'll show. So I'll do 3 turns of tinsel. And then after that, when you tie this off, leave that long. That's going to be part of your tinsel later. And then there's 2 other parts of tinsel. This one is a multi-strand one. So there's medium oval, which I'm going to tie in on the underside of the hook, not quite touching the other one, but close. You could have them touching, I guess. I guess that doesn't really matter that much. I'm tying that all the way up like that because we've got this eye return here. And where this eye return, that creates like a little step, a little drop. So tying your tinsel on up to there kind of helps eliminate some of that. Though this is going to be there's going to be dubbing up front, so it's not going to be a major issue. And then the other tinsel is a flat, which I seem to have misplaced. Right here in front of me. Alright, this is a flat silver tinsel. I'm just using Danville's Mylar. Pretty simple stuff to find. And we want silver side to show, so we'll tie the silver side against the hook shank. And we're doing that above the hook. So it's pretty much opposite the larger medium tinsel. And then we'll wrap forward until that's all tied off. This is going to be a fishing fly. This is going to go into a fly box with a friend of mine, so I'm not overly concerned with you know, the absolute beauty of it. It doesn't have to be perfect. Alright, so the rear third of the body is yellow floss. So we're going to tie in some yellow silk. And for the silk I'm using Ovale. It comes on the wooden spool, 54 Dean Street. I think you can look it up as ephemera silk also. But there's links in the description to suppliers for that. Alright, and then we're going to wrap this back. And when we get to that tinsel, we'll turn around and right back over. As you see, there's no tail or butt or anything like that on this fly. And then I always like to go past just a hair from where you are. Then you can tie that off. Snip off the excess. And then I'll back wrap a little bit with my thread back into the body, into the floss. That'll just leave a cleaner reveal later. Now when you are laying down your tinsel, you want this to line up about right here with your third wrap or so. Alright, this is where you're going to tie in the hackle. So as long as you've got that measured out, that you know that that's where your hackle's going to be. Which I think will be a little bit forward. Okay. Alright, so we'll get our blue-eared pheasant. And we'll come down here, strip off the base feathers. All of these can go. You don't need any of this fuzzy stuff. And then you'll get up into here. Go right up into like the very tip. As far as up as you can get. And for any of you that have actually worked with heron before, this does kind of act like heron. The feathers are formed very similar. Alright. We'll tie that in now. Okay. Sorry about the camera. With them larger flies, I have a little bit more room. Okay, then we'll go back to this point. The front of the fly calls for seal's fur, black seal's fur. I'm going to use Angora goat dubbing. It's basically what they call a seal substitute. It's not really the same as seal, but it works very well still. You still get the same nice color, and you can really get a decent dubbed body. And it's a little bit cheaper. Wapsi makes some Angora goat dubbing. They've got packets. I think it's like $1.99 a pack, and you get quite a bit in each pack. So if you can't find seal dubbing, the Angora goat dubbing is the good stuff to go for. The downside to it is Angora has a tendency to be quite long fibered. So when you get it, and before you use it, you'll notice just now I was picking it apart a little bit more. Actually, before I do this, let's switch over to black thread now. We're all set with the yellow, so we don't need the white thread. I had to come up with some sort of a music montage thing here. Some sleepy elevator music for you guys to listen to. Alright, that was already on there, but the thread had backed out of the spool. Or out of the bobbin down to the spool. Okay. And back to where we were. So yes, this does have a tendency to be a little on the long side. So when you're working with it, you might want to just pull it apart a little bit more and make sure that it's a little shorter. Or you can run it through a dubbing blender or something. That'll work too. Blend it with a little bit of rabbit's fur. I don't have a dubbing blender. I just typically just tear it apart with my fingers, just like this, just take it apart. And that's usually enough. When it's too long, it's got a tendency to want to not dub quite properly. It unwinds off the thread rather easily. And it winds up kind of tornadoing around your thread instead of actually blending and dubbing and becoming kind of part of the thread. I'm sure all of you have seen that at some point or another with your dubbing. Close to the head, to the eye. That's better. Okay, next we're going to take our flat tinsel actually I'm going to do the medium oval first. I've got 6 there. I think I'm going to change that. I really like there to be only 5. So we'll just spread these out a little more. Make that number 2. 3. Now we'll do flat tinsel. The flat tinsel we're doing kind of in between the silver, so it's not actually touching the medium oval. Alright, sorry about that. I had a phone call I had to take. Where was I? Ah, yes. So we're going to snip some of these out of the way. Leave kind of a tiny little tag on those for now, just in case we have to pull it back apart. And we'll leave this other one long for a moment and start wrapping our hackle. Okay. So we'll take this and we'll just start wrapping right along that medium oval tinsel, right along the back side of it, kind of tuck it right in. And we've got one extra turn on there left. I'm going to go ahead and wrap that anyway. May as well since it's there. And there goes my thread. Not a convenient spot to lose my thread, but not the end of the world. Okay. Get this little tag here. And then I'll use my crappy scissors to cut away the rest of this. And my crappy scissors are getting even worse. For those of you that are kind of new to the channel, I don't like using my good scissors to cut tinsel, especially the oval tinsels because they're metal. That really can ruin your scissors. Okay, so now I'm going to put 6 wraps of thread on here, and now we're going to reverse wrap the fine oval tinsel that we left on there in the beginning of the fly. And now you basically just have to kind of weave it through this jungle of heron here. Excuse me, blue-eared pheasant. And here we are at the front. And just tighten that down, and that'll act as kind of a lock to keep all that pheasant protected. Just display those out, make sure none of them are pinched or badly affected by the tinsel, which it doesn't look like anything was. And now we will look at guinea hen skin for a proper throat feather. This one being so tiny, you don't want something that's too terribly long. I think that's great. That's a good solid feather for this. It's not longer than the heron, but it's decently long. That almost reaches the hook point, which is kind of nice. Okay, so we've got our guinea hackle feather. And again, to prepare this, I'll go back here to all the fluffy stuff and just strip that away. And we'll measure up here to the tip, see how far in we're going to go. I think that's plenty for. So we'll go ahead and tie that in. And fold that back to lock it in. And then we're going to wrap the hackle just like you do normal hackle, palmering it backwards. That's enough, so what I'm going to do is just use a pair of tweezers and pull away what's left here by the tie-in point. And we'll just tie that off. And now we're just going to build a quick platform or base right here to mount the wing onto. Run a little wax down it. And then we're just putting a little bit of wax on that surface to prevent the wing from slipping when we tie it in. If you don't build up like this, almost like a little platform for the wing to sit on, your wing will almost always not sit right. Okay, now we're ready for the bronze mallard wing. Alright, so for the wings, it's just bronze mallard, and we're going to do 2 layers. So we'll just take our mallard feather first, take it right down to where all that fuzzy stuff starts, and just clip that off. Then take all this fuzzy stuff, all this shorter stuff off the side there. We're not going to use any of that. And then we will just clip off two equal sections about yay big, and we're going to use one of each section. Those ones that we just cut. And set the top aside. And then we'll do that to the opposite feather, opposite side, which I've already done. And then what we'll do is take these trimmed pieces, one for each side, and you're going to lay them side by side like this in your fingers, with the longest side on the inside. See? Just like that. Not the most matching bronze mallard, but again, this is going swimming, so I don't think a steelhead's going to fuss over that. So now I'll just take these like this, measure them up to where you want them on the hook shank. I don't know, I like them longer than the body, but shorter than the hook. So somewhere around here. And then we'll kind of pinch those down to the side like that and make 2 very loose wraps and let the bobbin hang. Keep your left hand pinched and then use your right hand to kind of move these around just a little to nestle them into place. And you should get that curved shell looking. It's not quite how I wanted it though. It's close, but not quite. So I'm lining these back up again. That's not going to work either. Kind of like that, except that the hackle seems to be wanting to poke up through it, so I'm going to just pinch this hackle down a little more. Okay, pinch, 1, 2. Too long. Heck, those two. The case of the hackle is pushing up on it too much, especially around the shoulders here and here. I'm actually going to pull some of this out. Just clip it out. It'll be quicker and easier. And then once again, let's try it now. This is getting close to needing new bronze mallard. This stuff's kind of getting beat up. I'm going to try going the one side at a time method. It's so tiny, it's a little trickier. There we go. That's the shape we're looking for. Clip that off, and then we do it again. Okay. I'm going to go for a little bit different mallard this time. Something darker. That first layer is just kind of like a support layer. Let's do the outer layer. Most of the time, if you're having trouble with a wing, if you're seeing something's down here, it's splitting or something, the problem is where you're tying in. Something up front, it's either riding on your hackle, or you've got dubbing that's in the way, or something. That's usually what winds up happening. That was close. Well. Okay, different pair. There we go. The fly I'm going to fish, well, I won't, but I'm sending this up to a friend of mine, the one who requested this video. I'm going to send these up to him in Canada and have him go out for some salmon with him, or some steelhead with him. Now I'm just going to build up my wax head a little bit. Not a lot needed here. This is when you I put a healthy amount of wax on there. I like to see chunks, a little bit of chunk on there. Then I can take that wax and kind of mold that into the head a little. Kind of has a fat head on it, but it's okay. Little Sally Henson's on there. Alright, there we go. I've done a second coat of black Salire on the head, and that is the finished gray heron spay fly using blue-eared pheasant. If you guys are in the market for some blue-eared pheasant, you don't know where to find any, you just want to get a couple packages of feathers or something, or just some colors, check out Brittons Blue-Eareds in Washington. I'll have their link in the description below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, think about subscribing. It helps me out, lets me know that I'm doing something right, and that you want to see more of my content. If you guys have any requests, let me know. I'd be happy to get to them, and I'm always available to answer any questions that you might have. So, reach on out if you need to. And don't forget about the giveaway next week for the Cape Fly. The Cape Fly kit is all put together and ready to go for the winter. I will send that out to you, and then you and I will sit down and have a fly tying session, either Zoom or Messenger, however you prefer. That being said, I hope you guys all have a wonderful night, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.